and it had gone a bit south, and they just want us to, bring our minds together. And Honorable Kiprotich, I'd like to start with you. There is a constitutional threshold that any person who wins the presidential election should be able to meet. What if we do not have this happen? What if we don't have all the 290 constituencies participating in the poll? Then what happens after
of course,
October
under
27th?
Article 138, I think Sub-Article 2 is that any presidential, they should happen an election within 290, each constituency has 290.
Yeah.
And of course, they should be at least 50 plus 1 and 25% across the counties. But what we are seeing is what NASA meant when they say there is no election. It is by ensuring there is chaos, and that is what they are striving for. But, so what will happen is that the law also, and I want to be very categorical, the law also gives power, the IEBC, to suspend elections in some areas that they think that elections, the environment is not conducive to do. And I think this is a situation when the IBC will ensure that some of this, because we're having pockets of violence, especially in Nasa strongholds, especially in my neighboring Kisumu counties and other counties. So they have the IBC will have to resort to use the law and ensure, if it is not practicable within to do elections. But we want also, I know the security agencies in this country, we have given them the enough money to ensure a credible process. And I hope, finally, I hope Supreme Court is watching, but because we will. Yeah. I hope this will not be an illegality of sabotaging and process and then rush to Supreme Court to gain from an illegality. It cannot be a beneficiary of an illegality by sabotaging the process. Then you run to Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court gives you a verdict that favors you. If
you could just allow me to, you referred to the pictures that you've seen, and we're not yet sure exactly, who's behind this disruption.
Yeah, I have not mentioned anybody's name.
But remember that, in Akombe's resignation, she says that the same officers on the ground came to her and explained to her that we have this security concerns. Doesn't that worry you? I mean,
but I like Commissioner Akombe should not have gone to the safety of her safety of seeking political asylum in New York. He should have just written to Inspector General of Police to ensure that security is beefed up in areas that he deems the officers are insecure. And we are aware, if we continue the rhetoric, and I have told you this wider scheme of ensuring there is no election, and because if he was genuine enough, if she had a genuine heart concern for the officers that she feels are not safe, she should have done the honorable thing. We have systems and agencies that work in this country. One of them is security agency. Should have written to Inspector General of Police and share those concerns with them. Why should you just run away and just write in a letter?
All right, there's a question you haven't answered me. I'm going to come to you shortly. But for now, I just want to cross back to Kisumu. I understand that the Kisumu Central Member of Parliament, is it Fred Ouda, he is currently addressing the press. I beg your pardon. Let's just listen to that.
No election. No reform. No election. No election. No election. No reform. No election. No reform. No election. No election.
All right, you seem to have caught that one almost over, but that's Senator Outa speaking there to the press, and you've had him chanting there. We'll get the latest details and specific ones from the ground. But coming back to my question, what happens if Uhuru Kenyatta does not attain the threshold that is in the Constitution if we do not have that election in 290 constituencies?
We will have elections in 290
What if it doesn't happen?
IBC, I'm using what IBC are saying because it is legally, constitutionally mandated body to ensure elections are done, and they have not told us there is no election. So that is the only body we can get the facts from. Let me answer you when you say if Uhuru will not get, the law is very clear. We are having other 7 or 6 other presidential candidates. If we will not achieve 50 plus 1, the law is very clear, we'll go for a rerun. And that is the position. So the issue is very simple. The only person, and I want Kenyans to have this clear, that in as far as one commissioner has resigned, we still have the necessary quorum, and I hope the president will sign elections amendment, say that in fact we have reduced the quorum of commissioners from 5 to 3, say that if this ongoing wider scheme of narrative of sabotaging the electoral process goes on, we will ensure that Kenyans will be given. What we are doing is to ensure that the spirit, the letter, the substance, and the law of Article 38 is protected. That is what we want to see in this country.
All right. Your wrapping thoughts.
Okay. What I want to say, I want to answer that question by saying that if Jubilee does not achieve the threshold, then no election will have been held, and on 1st November, we should have a caretaker government, so that we have elections on after 90 days. Why I'm saying so, what you're seeing all over the country, even from Kisumu, tells us clearly that we need to have dialogue. We need to have dialogue. We need not to rush things. And then we act for the future of this country. We should not just look at the near future. We should act for the future of this country by having dialogue and we agree. And this dialogue is not about nusu mkate or power sharing. Raila has said clearly that he's not interested in this. It was a mistake in 2007. He's not interested in power sharing. What he's interested in is free, fair, and credible elections in this country, not just for 2017, but forever.
All right, but there are a number of NASA leaders who've also been talking about dialogue. What is the framework of this dialogue?
Dialogue is to talk about electoral reforms, nothing else. That's what we want to talk about. Yes.
All right, so it's not Nusumkate
no.
dialogue. Like
Raila can win the elections. He did it in 2007, 2013, and 2017. So he's capable of winning any time. Anytime he's capable of winning.
All right, gentlemen, we have to wrap up. And from you, I'd like also to hear from you. Because Jubilee is quite confident. I mean, when you hear leaders, John from Jubilee speaking, I mean, they're very confident that this election will happen and Uhuru Kenyatta will win, no matter the current, political situation in the country. But, how do you then bring, a polarized country together after October 20? Is it just about winning the October 26th election when you have quite a number of other people who support NASA?
Finally, the reason we are confident, Betty, is because we are all out campaigning. We are campaigning because we know the votes are with the people. The votes are not in press conferences or in courts of law. That is why we are confident. And in fact, tomorrow I'll be hosting the president in my county, Nandi County, so that he continues in vote hunting across the country. The issue is we are aware this election is coming at a time when the IBC, not the IBC, the Supreme Court ordered, as per the Constitution, that it should be done. So what we are telling, let us allow IBC to conduct this election. When we are done with elections, we will organize, if NASA wants to have a conversation, a national dialogue conference, NASA we will organize for even a month at KICC here. We ensure that we come and sit down and then they can dialogue. The reforms will not, we have already done reforms. Even if they want reforms even for 2022 or even post-trade, they can have a time. But I want finally to say, this Kenya belongs to all of us. Personally, as a senator, I don't have any other home, just like Commissioner Akombe, who has another home in the U.S. So we must come out and protect and ensure we protect the rule of law in this country. And I want to urge all Kenyans from all walks of life, even from those all the way across the 47 counties, that let us maintain peace. Let us on 26 exercise our democratic right as enshrined in our Constitution and move this country. And I know as Jubilee, we are confident of winning 70+1.
Wow. You guys are very, very confident. All right, thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. I've been speaking to Honorable Cherargei Kiprotich, who's a senator in Nandi County, together with Senator Ben Olochokelo, who's a senator in Migori County. Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen.